Now, we all know to it that Victor Osimhen has been linked to Manchester United ever since he went to a team known as Galatasaray. He has been there for his entire season, and he has gone ahead to obviously play some big role. And remember, in January, there was a clause that if at all a team came in through and wanted him, they would obviously sell him and see to it that he moves to where he's wanted. But unfortunately, not him went ahead to obviously place a bid that could trigger the release clause that he has with the club of Napoli, and that is 75 million euros for that side. So this time round, it's really very, very, very clear that the boy wants to stay in Europe, because a bid that was put in through by Al Hilal just got accepted by Napoli, but the player said, no, I'm not going to the Saudi Pro League. That is Victor Osimhen for you. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and who are you watching us from? Second video of the day, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned in here onto this beautiful channel. So we bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And please, and please, and please, and please, and please, just keep in touch, and the rest will obviously lead to what you want to be. So before the bid came in through and Mark Odgen, senior reporter at what we call the ESPN, told us that Manchester United will not be pursuing a move for Victor Osimhen. United believe Osimhen is not the profile of striker required by Ruben Amorim. That's what we obviously went ahead, getting through. Now, after that, guess what happened? We got a story that he had rejected a move to Saudi Arabia. And no sooner had that coming through, we got a story from Buchi Laba, who is one of a Nigerian tier 1 journalist, saying that Victor Osimhen has decided not to move to Saudi Arabia. Priority is stay in Europe. So Victor Osimhen wants to stay in Europe. That is it. He wants to stay in Europe. That is Victor Osimhen for you. So in the due course of him wanting to stay in Europe, he rejected a move to Saudi Pro League. And this is where we got a story coming in from Adakos Korut, and he told us that there is currently interest in Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray as well as Manchester United and Juventus. Now, I really think that United's interest in Osimhen is there. Why? Because they know that the amount of money that is needed to buy him is fixed, and they know that is 75 million euros that we need to obviously bring in Victor Osimhen there. His salary, I think, can be negotiated on, but there is a high profile in him than Victor Gyökeres. That's what people don't really understand, because Victor Osimhen has been playing for Napoli for some good years, and he's a tested player. If you know, you know. But when you look at Victor Gyökeres, he's not tested. He has only gone ahead to play in the Portuguese league, and you know what has gone ahead to happen for players that have come in through from Portugal, especially those leading the line and scoring goals. Do you remember Goncalo Ramos? One. Do you remember a player known as Darwin Nunez, who came in through from Benfica and joined Liverpool? Do you want to tell me that you've gone ahead to forget a name known as João Felix? The list is endless. So I think if I'm Manchester United, I would go in for Victor Osimhen other than going in for a player called Victor Gyökeres. Though the big hinge is that Man United might really pull out of this deal of Victor Osimhen because of the African Cup of Nations not being played in June. You understand? The African Cup of Nations has always gone ahead to be played in January. It was played in the summer once, and now this time around it's going to be played in December in Morocco. You understand? So if you get in Mbeumo Victor Osimhen, you're having Onana, you're having Amadi Diallo, and Sekou Kone. Those are 5 players from Africa, plus Mazarawi, 6 players that you won't be having in of a full month, because I think the African Cup of Nations starts around the 18th. I think 3rd week of December, and it ends, I think, is it the 26th or 18th of January 2026. So I think that will be a very huge hinge, and we all know to it that all these teams have gone ahead to qualify to play in the African Cup of Nations. So I think that will be the huge hinge that will stop Man United from really pursuing a deal of a player called Victor Osimhen. But if we know what we want, I think Victor Osimhen is better. And for the time that is obviously going to be away, I think Joshua Zirkzee, Cunha, Rasmus Højlund, if at all is not held, will obviously do a very good job for the club of Manchester United. So I really believe that we can beat competition from Juventus and which other team has been said? Galatasaray. So if interest is there from Galatasaray and Juventus, I think we can beat it, because he wants to play in the Premier League, I tell you, and I know he can score goals. It's not the first time that United have gone ahead to be linked to him. Even when Erik ten Hag was here, he wanted to bring him in if at all United had the money. But because the money was not available, they obviously tried to go in for loan more for Weghorst, and that's how we failed on signing the player. So Victor Osimhen to Manchester United interest is there, and United is still having options, and also they can use it to obviously send shockwaves to the club where Victor Gyökeres plays for, that he is Sporting Lisbon. That, all right, you are calling in for £60 million for a player who is not at the same level like Victor Osimhen, and Victor Osimhen is going for the same amount of money. So all we think is we are going in for Victor Osimhen, unless otherwise we take a pay cut. And I think for the side of Sporting Lisbon, this is this last chance they're really having to get some good amount of money from the player known as Victor Gyökeres. So it's still tricky, but all in all, I would like to let you know that Osimhen is a player that went ahead to reject a move to the Saudi Pro League, meaning that he's not a mercenary. He doesn't only want money, but he also wants to be playing anywhere else in the world. So I tell you that United is still looking to bring in a striker, but all this will have to wait not until United goes ahead to bring in what we call we have to wait a little bit and get in what we call we have to wait in a little bit and get in what we call we have to wait in a little bit and wait in to see who leaves and who stays in there. And Fabrizio Romano went ahead to obviously break the story of how this lad came up and obviously said no to the proposal coming in through from the Saudi side. Breaking: Victor Osimhen has rejected Al Hilal proposal despite agreement club to club with Napoli for 75 million euros fee. Osimhen says no to Saudi Arabia Pro League. Galatasaray will insist to sign him, with the race now open again. So looks like Galatasaray is the team that really is pushing hard, but Man United has been really indicated. But don't also forget that the agent might want to see to it that he includes Manchester United when United isn't interested, to make it audible to other clubs that there is a striker available. And we're waiting to see which other teams are really going to be joining the queue of wanting to sign Victor Osimhen. So far it's 3: Juventus, Man United, and Galatasaray. Who else do you think will join the rest to do the needful and sign this guy who goes by names of Victor Osimhen, who is really a top striker, and he's really proven if you've been following him for some time. I sign out for now. See you later. Rock and David remains my name. United Matters is the YouTube channel. Second video of the day. More is yet to come. That's what I always tell you. Please and please subscribe, because if you subscribe, you will get in the gist of all the transfer matters as they go on. Bye bye.